Yes. Oh. All right, guys. It looks like what's happening here is I've got a double event going on. So 34 seconds says I'm live and I'm looking at everything. So you know what we're going to do is we're going to have a really long one, apparently. So there's a little bit of delay between what I'm seeing here and what's showing up. So, and a little bit of my head has been cut off. That is fine. So, you know what? You guys are going to get some bonus content. So, yeah, next time. So, what I've got is that I've got it set up so things look really good. I look not bad within things. There we go. I'm a little bit cut off, or my hat was. That seems to be fixed. So, yeah, we're already done. So what I will do is I will edit it. Either that or you're going to be watching something really long. So what do you guys think? I know I'm supposed to start in 17 minutes, but we're getting some bonus footage. Okay, so before I launch into the live stream like proper, and I'm expecting you guys to start showing up at 5:30. If not, that's fine because I did one stream before, and what happened is it just kind of like disappeared. Well, it had 12 seconds. So what I've been doing is been playing for the last hour, hour and a half with a piece of software called OBS, which I've managed to make work again and reconnect to things. So and activate some old accounts because I haven't changed everything over to the new Rogue 2 kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a little bit of a technical back end kind of thing. So there you go. What I'd really like is a T. So I'm going to leave some dead air space in this, and this is going to be a little bit longer of an event, but I'm going to leave everything up. I'm going to bring up my little I know I have something here that had a little bit of a template. I made notes, you guys, and I need to find them. What have I done with those things? So I'm going to close that out. Okay. You get to have like fun hanging out with me while I figure out what the heck I was doing. Okay. I don't even know where I put this. My desktop is messy, you guys. Messy, messy. So yeah, I'm going to look at you here. I don't have it. No, I didn't even keep the notes for what I was going to talk about tonight. And that's okay because you know what? What I will do is I will just wing it. So here's the plan, Stans. I'm going to go and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a tea. I'm going to come back. I'm going to wing this bad boy and try. I'm going to come back. I'm going to wing this bad boy and try. And I'm going to try and look professional. Okay. So I'm going to put in chat. Anybody hear me fine? Okay. The delay is crazy balls between like what I'm seeing live and then it's streaming. So, but that's okay. So I'm assuming that my mic works and I'm assuming that you're hearing things and I've got a like. So yeah, I'm going to go make that tea and come back. So anybody who's tuning in, if you don't see me like right away, do not panic. I will return. So, yes. Okay, Twisted says he hears me. Okay, so this is good. Everything is working properly. So, um, also to note that the top of my fancy hat gets cut off, my fancy woven hat gets cut off if I sit or lean forward. So, anyways, lovely. Thanks for being wonderful people. I will be right back. Um, hey, Southgate, you missed nothing. You know what? You missed a terrible me explaining my difficulties with software. That's what you miss. So, and me missing my notes. So for what I was planning on talking about tonight, which is totally unprofessional. But you know what? Um, we're gonna wing it. I haven't been on this in quite a while, so what you're missing is me going and ripping and getting a tea super quick. So green tea it is. I will see you back in like 12 minutes. Stick with me, my peeps. Be right back. Ta-da! I am back. Hey, Mysterio Studios. I'm here. Thanks for a quick drive-by. I hope you're still here. I went to go get myself a tea, and everybody hops in. It's blurry. Okay, Tamara, that's because I wasn't sitting there. So, and hello, Kristen. So, hi to everyone. I am back now. The tea is now in session. So, I'm just waiting for it to steep. Now, I have a question for you guys. Do you want me to try and retrieve my template notes from today or for today, or do you want me to just wing it? I can totally start again here anytime and pretend that whole, first 20 minutes of unprofessional behavior while I figure out temperamental software didn't exist. Or do you want me to just wing it? Oh, wing it says, okay. So I had a few points that I wanted to cover. So let me collect myself here, have a sip of the tea. And we're going to go on and we're going to say, durable dads, brothers from other mothers, and sisters from different misters. Thanks for tuning in. It's been a hot minute since I did my last live stream. I think the last one was in May, about the middle of May, and there's been a lot of things that is happening. I don't know where I left you guys. For all of you who have been are my subscribers and have been following, then you know what, this will be a quick catch up. For those of you that aren't subscribers or don't watch very often, or you know what, are new here, hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome. I'm usually a lot more organized, but today has been a day. I was working on one project and then thought, oh man, I better start getting this live stream together. Last one I did, I was having some serious issues with reconnecting everything, and I've gone through some changes to a lot that's been happening. So I deleted old accounts which are tied to my streaming software. So I've got the green screen figured out. As you can see, the logo looks good. I look not too bad in this. So here we go. I'm happy that we're up and rolling again. I'm going to have to make some changes to make this happen a little bit more smoothly. I was planning on doing a lot more live streams from previous, but it didn't happen. I got busy. The summer was nuts. I was producing a lot of content, and I just never got back to some live streams. And now that my content rhythm has kind of chilled out a little bit or gone into a bit of a winter hibernation mode, I can now kind of revisit this. Today was supposed to be, a little bit more precise, hence I was doing the background work. But start streaming on one software means I start streaming on YouTube, which is great. Now I know that actually works. So we're back in business. So if you guys actually like live streams, then you know what, I will do this a little bit more often. Hi, Kristen. Yes, whatever. I don't know what that is yet, but I'm sure you'll get to it. So, and Mysterio, brother, I hope you're still there and listening in. Oh, and thank you for awesome for my videos. I appreciate that. I experimented with a bunch of different formats. Some were more popular than others, but that's okay. I was busy locking in the format. For those of you who've been around since ever, I basically did a little bit of a pivot from my original content to now the outdoor dad adventure stuff, which I really started leaning into in May. And I've taken all the old stuff down. So if you're new here, don't get confused and don't go looking for it. The legacy stuff doesn't exist anymore. So what happened is, and the last time I picked up, I was teasing buying Lou. Yes, there's honey in the tea. This is honey, green tea, honey lemon ginseng with a little extra bit of honey in there, a little sweetness, because I'm not feeling so sweet after playing with software. So yes, there is honey in the tea. 1 second, you guys. I'm going to close the door to the studio. All right, ta-da! I'm back. So yeah, the green screen was available last time, but I hadn't fully got it set up or working correctly. So now I have that tied up, so I can have the different backgrounds. You're going to see down in the little corner, you have a little Rogue 2 logo. So a good place to start is to kind of get you up to speed with Rogue 2. Rogue 2 is basically the umbrella. I've got a couple channels rolling. Plus I do media work and video editing, motion, motion graphics for other content creators or other creators. Currently working with a local real estate agent and another buddy, and things are coming in. So basically this is, since YouTube doesn't pay me yet, this is my business stream I kind of got into when I started doing a lot more content for Durable Dads, and started experimenting and playing around with my other channel. Don't know if that's your cup of tea, but Dad Generated X is kind of a way for me to have different content and just experiment with what I've been doing. And as my competence grew, I found that I really love the art and process of video editing, doing all the analytics for it, creating thumbnails and cards and metadata and all the yada yada back end stuff that you guys don't necessarily worry about, but see. It's all the stuff under the hood. So Durable Dads is just an offshoot of Rogue 2. That's how I'm kind of bringing that together. So I'm bringing you up to speed with Rogue 2. If you want to know more about it, Rogue 2 Studios is on the web. You can look me up at www.rogue2studios.com. Find me on Facebook. So that's what I've been up to on that end, but that has not a lot to do with it has a lot to do with Durable Dads, but this is me just kind of bringing you all up to speed, just so when you see the logos splashing around, you know what's what. Okay, back to Durable Dads is what you paid your admission and time to come in here for. So yeah, I got Lou. So if you've been watching that, Lou's a 97 4Runner, and she's awesome. Bought her from Jeremy from Fireworks. You've seen him lots, and we collaborate quite often. And I'm in the process of just kind of, a little bit of restoration, making some modifications. Older vehicle, but literally will take me anywhere. It's my rolling studio. So that's kind of a side piece of content. And Lou, of course, is a recurring character that will be with us for a while. So that happened. I really kind of fell in love with the outdoor version of things. And because that's something that I've been rebuilding in my life, as my kiddo's getting a little older. No, he doesn't have a YouTube. That's something that I'm talking him into and that we're kind of working towards. You can find Firewurx, his brand, FIREWURX, on Facebook. He makes bushcraft gear like fire starting kits and saws. You've seen me review his gear, but he's not on YouTube yet. But I will. I will. Okay, I will tell him that he has built-in subs, so as soon as he starts a channel. But let's talk about my channel. That's what we're doing here, Bill. All right, where was I? So outdoor is something that I've been rebuilding, so I found my lane. I'm loving rebuilding my kit, and that's been kind of a hard, and that's a story arc. That's been something where, through moves and just, stuff happening in life and leaving stuff at other people's places while I was relocating or needed storage, some stuff has gone missing. So from a previous life, I had a fairly decent kit for the outdoors, and then that's diminished. So as I'm rebuilding this in my life, which is one of the big themes that I wanted to do, is a way of making everything very dad friendly and budget conscious. And not all of us have the kit existing or a bunch of gearheads or flex some rocket gear. So really part of what I'm doing is kind of like the story arc of rebuilding my own gear and my own outdoor lifestyle. I've got a couple of good buddies that are really into outdoors and are gearheads. So literally I could borrow or use whatever they have, and they have everything, triplicates of it. But really, this is about me reclaiming this space for myself. The outdoors is accessible. I live in beautiful British Columbia, and pretty much every direction is something amazing to explore outdoors. And I really just kind of missed it. And now it's coming back into my life, and so's the kit. So I'm in this really unique place where I get to explore bringing stuff back, what works for me at my life, at my time in life, what's going to help out my family and my extended family, and allow me to adventure in a way that makes sense to the average backyard, to the average dad. Not every dad is going to be hardcore or frothing and be like a total bushcraft nerd. Or a lot of dads that are outdoors oriented kind of fall on a graph, and a lot of them, and us, I myself included, kind of sit in a kind of a lane in somewhere in the middle where we love getting out as much as we can, but life's busy. You have commitments with kids. You don't have an unlimited pocketbook, but you need gear, and you need gear that works, that doesn't suck and fall apart the second time you use it, and it fits your budget. So really, that's exactly where I'm at. So I don't know if it's the best channel for all outdoor people, but for the dads that basically don't have this huge level of skill, because I'm learning as I go too. It's amazing what I've learned about since even this spring to now, and there's still a million things to learn. So I'm enjoying the journey. So, but dads themselves fall into, especially if you've got younger kids, you're busy, you're committed, you don't necessarily have the time to go out and bushcraft the way that you want to, or you're bringing your kids along, which is going to change your pace. Understood. So my content goal here is to create a space that reflects that, and still encourages you to go outside, go outdoors, GTF outdoors, so to speak, and really appreciate that and kind of set that priority in your children. So there's a lot of fire safety. So some, I try not to be heavy-handed about, stewardship and respect for nature, but that's all in there. And these are things that you can teach your kids because they're values that you have. And another aspect of that is that, it's accessible. There doesn't have to be a ton of barriers to you getting out and doing it. You don't have to have the fanciest gear or all of this gear because to just get out and start doing it. I mean, whether you hunt, you fish, you're just, a birder, you like to, or just enjoy camping and being out in nature, hiking, paddling, whatever your lane is, you can enjoy it and take your kids and build that in with minimal stuff. Now, we're all wanting to have great gear and having a complete kit that fills our needs. I sure as hell want that, and my kit has grown to almost do all the things I want. There's still a ton of things that I want to get, but the whole back to basics arc was getting the stuff that'll get me going. McQueen Lake, yeah, that's a pretty great one. So, thanks, Twisted. I'll have to check that out again soon. There's a billion lakes to go to. But as I kind of did those different things and just kind of like hiking and paddling, I got on one kind of out of town adventure. I would have liked to do more. I did go to Clearwater. So there's a little bit of travel, there's durable destinations. So I kind of split off these formats to reflect kind of where I was at. And you know what? Some of it did better than others. Not everybody loves the whole travel vlog or outdoor vlog, and hiking videos are pretty easy to make in their own way, but not exciting to everybody. Some people love to paddle. Not exciting to everybody, but really where I've found kind of a space, and we'll circle back to this, it is doing gear reviews. So you've seen quite a bit of gear reviews. Why? Because that matters and it matters to me. So a lot of people do paddling, hiking, outdoors, bushcraft, and gear review, but you can't be everything to everybody. So I'm just kind of narrowing down the things that I think I'm good at, and you guys as viewers enjoy. And having no nonsense kind of low BS reviews seem to be one of the things that I enjoy doing and viewers tend to enjoy. So oh yeah. I mean, that's a beautiful area, all of the Shuswap. So I'll definitely keep that in mind. But really, like having gear that works, doesn't cost a fortune, and gets put through its paces. I mean, a lot of gear reviewers are just kind of on their desk. They unbox it. They spit some stats at you. But they don't necessarily show or demonstrate to you that it's got a value, that it's handy, that you're actually going to use it in certain situations. I try to use it in situations that dads are going to encounter, or anybody going outdoors. That's not like a hardcore survivalist kind of bushcraft person. Would actually find use for it and needs to have in their kit. So, and it doesn't have to be the most expensive. It just needs to be stuff that works. And again, I'm going to go back to the budget conscious, and has real world applications. I mean, you buy a piece of gear, and this is where I'm going to kind of go into Woobin, because I've been working with them and I get the fancy hat. That's awesome. Um, Flashlights. When are you not going to need those? And the nice thing about flashlights is that you can't really have too many of them, and they're handy for all kinds of different applications. So, if you break down, you're going to want something that's compact but, magnetic, or if you're going potty in the middle of the night, you're going to want a headlamp. When you're camping, there's all kinds of different applications. So I'm really lucky to have started a relationship with Woburn Lighting Company. They really market, and they're innovators when it comes to outdoor use of lighting. So they've got a huge product spectrum. So I'm going to chew through it slowly. I've done 2 reviews for them, and another one coming up. But I'll get to that when I tease up to upcoming content for you guys. So where was I? Okay, so I've gotten Lou. I've really kind of leaned into where I'm going. The outdoor adventure stuff's still going to happen. Gear review is really going to be, you're going to see a lot more of that. And I have some other sponsors on tap, so hopefully I'll be able to get a wider variety of stuff reviewed for you guys and kind of give it the whole dad stamp, like, is it worth it? My kid's going to destroy it in 30 seconds. Does it work in my lifestyle and with my kids? Those are important factors, so I'll be able to get more of that to you. But I still love doing the adventure stuff. I mean, I don't, because that's part of the lifestyle that I enjoy. So what I'm really trying to do is find a way to balance those and work that into reviews. So when I do a review, I haven't been out in the field in a while, and I'm really loving it. There's snow on the ground now, so I'm going to have to pick my spots. But really the format that helps me grow as a channel, keeps you guys engaged and keeps, this party rolling, is kind of a combination in between where I'm doing reviews, but I'm taking them on an adventure, and I'm just kind of trying to think of like, okay, what's a reasonable scenario where you guys would take your kids or you would go solo and need this stuff and be prepared to use the stuff. So that builds in my kicks and giggles, and also a review format into one. So that's really where I'm going to be leaning. In the spring, I'm definitely going to bust out hard into some camping, more destinations if possible. That's definitely in the pipe. I would love to get myself a little travel trailer. Again, I'm still dreaming and I'm planning on going forward, but things are looking good. I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying this ability to reconnect with you. The summer, okay, let's transition there. So the summer, as I found my format and had a chance to really experiment with things, as my skills progressed, I was like, okay, what can I do and where can I go? And out of that came a little bit more professionality, some little more confidence in front of the camera, and really just like building my chops as a YouTuber, which is harder than it looks, by the way. I mean, so yeah, that's been my content arc. And you know what? If you wanted to go back, you can kind of look at where this journey of what I'm doing now kind of began. And I'm letting you know kind of where it's going. So it's going to be a bit of a hybrid of all the things that I experimented over the summer. This is where kind of user feedback really comes in handy. The most direct feedback I get is viewership. Okay, there's lots to do with YouTube itself and how they categorize videos and how they're able to market or distribute videos to subscribers. That's one thing, but also at the same time, you know, if I'm getting, you know, over 1,000 views in this format, almost 2,000 views, and I'm getting 90 to 150 in another format, that can't be all how it's designed or distributed to viewers. Maybe more as a small channel like me, that kind of comes into play. But really, my direct feedback is what you guys view. Another way is your comment and your commentary. Like, leave a comment, have a like, do a share, do all those things. I know it sounds like your typical call to action from a YouTuber, but these are pipelines. They're communications to me of what you guys prefer or want to see. So, pardon the pun, use that channel. You know, fire it away at me, like some ideas of like, okay, go and paddle, you know, the Shuswap, or go here, or go there, or check that out. If it's possible for me to do, I will. So, or if you want to learn more about different fire pits or kind of DIY projects you could do outdoors to enhance your outdoor experience with your kids, fire that away at me. Like, what would you like to see me do and learn about? Because I'm into that, which takes me into kind of like what's coming up a little bit later. So the fire pit series, I did that with Jeremy. We got one done for November, that dropped in November. November turned nutty, and I have a lot of client work. Plus, I resurrected my other channel, plus weather and everything else going on. So we haven't been able to do fire pit number 2. Mountain men houses, yeah, I wish. That's down the road. That's a little more complicated than the skills I have now, sort of, or at least harder to do, and something I'd heavily work towards. Okay, but where I would start, okay, so fire pits, that's something everybody uses, and you're out there, unless you're on a fire ban, and having different fire pits is a practical skill, and being able to build ones quickly, especially with your kids and them, getting them involved, great thing to do. Jeremy and I are going to pop another one off here really quick, but that might not make it in time necessarily for Christmas. But that's something that we're planning on doing. Some outdoor DIY crafts, like maybe making a bed, little kind of shelters and stuff like that. And this isn't going to be like, you know, Survivor kind of level stuff. This is really, okay, what's practical and useful that in real life, for not only in the moment and on this camping trip, but down the road to teach the younger generation, your kids, some basic survival skills that are handy. So that's where I'm going. And that's something that, you know what, Jeremy from Fireworks and I have been discussing. We're both busy guys, so just getting to that. But though that's in the works. So worry not. That's happening. Again, with another fire pit video. We're starting that there. We're going to do a series of some basic ones. And then when the weather eases up again in spring and the season is upon us, we're going to switch into something a little bit more complex. Not a mountain man house yet, but maybe some of the stuff to you know, get you started on it and put in it. So that's the plan. Again, gear reviews. All right, that's for sure happening. Speaking of that, my next set of content is especially for December is coming up. That's going to be another fire pit. That's going to probably hit maybe early January, maybe kind of as my content schedule goes, as it maps out. That'll be the first video of next year. And reviews, well, Woobin sent me another item to review, and so I've got another flashlight. Oh, okay. Tamara, in a sec, I'll answer that. So that's really what's going to be happening next. The X4, it's more of the tactical end of things, but it's a pretty nice unit. That's on its way. So that review, and I'm going to field test it. I'm going to get out in the bush a little bit, and not go too remote, but check it out at night. So that'll be fun. Tamara, are we going to do any more Within the Wild with Kyle? Yeah, we're planning on doing one. We should do one soon. Things have just been really busy. As for Cowboy Dude, you're talking about Life Cowboy. That guy is on the move and a bit of a nomad, and isn't necessarily, I don't know where he is right now. He could be down somewhere in the States, or he could be, next door, but he's a little bit of a free thinking guy and likes to freewheel it. So I don't see him actually having uploaded anything on his channel recently at all. So he might be not be doing YouTube right now, and I haven't heard from him for a bit. I'll reach out, but yeah, I would do something with Life Cowboy again, given the chance. I haven't seen him for a bit, so hopefully that answers the question. I do have a few other people that I'm going to be doing some videos with coming up. So, but right now I'm kind of settling in for the winter, working Rogue 2 quite a bit, and hitting into kind of a winter hibernation mode of reviews and winter stuff. Gear, I need to get winter gear, not only in terms of, clothing, but other practical stuff. So you're going to probably see more of that. Maybe getting out for a sledding party or a winter camp is going to probably be something happening soon too. The next sponsor video, that is Woobin again. I'm going to do another flashlight video. That's on its way. That should drop about mid-month. So, and that's more of a tactical flashlight. So that's the next sponsor video. I do have other sponsors kind of lining up, so that's looking really good. So in the spring, there might be some gear showing up in terms of clothes, hopefully, because you know what, we all need practical, tough winter clothes for if you're going to get out in the wild. So, and some camping gear, a new lineup of stuff, and maybe day packs and straight up camping gear showing up from hopefully someone local here coming in spring. Knock on some wood. It's not confirmed, but they've shown some interest. So, yeah, Costco gets enough of my business, but unfortunately, Costco tends to have a lot of gear that's reviewed. Only problem is they don't pay me or sponsor me. I mean, if I got my gear from Costco for free, I'd be totally okay to do a ton of reviews. But, since they're not, showering me with love, the sponsors, I mean, I'm going to have to fend for myself for the next little bit. So, I don't know if there's much knives that are local to Kamloops in the wild. So I do love those knives. That's another one of those things that you can't have enough of: flashlights, knives, etc., fishing gear. But I don't know of any local knife makers. So if you guys out there in Viewerland know of a knife maker or a local maker that concentrates on knives, makes knives or modifies them or whatever, that's even here in Kamloops best. But if there's some that are local or even interior BC, I'd be more than happy to reach out. Or if you guys have a favorite knife that doesn't cost me $1 billion, I can definitely go and take one of those for a test drive. I've actually got a few here close. I don't want to be accused of brandishing, knives at YouTube viewers. So there's this one. I've got this. What is it called again? Oh, HX Outdoors, and this was a gift. The neat thing about this one is it's got the Durable Dads logo etched into the blade, and it kind of comes with the striker rod, which is cool. And then what you're doing is you're just using the back of the knife, give that a scrape. It works awesome. So this is one of my EDC carry items that is definitely in the Dadventure kit as that thing fleshes out. I got a machete too, so I'm starting to get the collection of knives too. So again, in the spring, I'm going to be collecting stuff for gear, not only gear but also kit. And just kind of the everyday carry is something that I'm always kind of expanding. But you're obviously going to have your seasonal kit, which is something that I'm going to need to do as my kit grows and my needs grow. I'll be doing that, but I will revisit the kit again, the Adventure kit in the spring, to show you all kinds of the goodies that I've gotten since that. So, or since my last review, I think I did one maybe a month ago. Just an update, and I'll do another one in the spring to kind of let you know. I did get a few extra bits of goodies that I'm going to add on to that, but they're by themselves not worth a review, but combined to adding to the kit, definitely worth a review. So again, I will dust that review, the kit, out for spring as I kind of take out the things that I was using and show you what I got new, and then readjust it and just kind of change my loadout, so to speak, for spring. So and if there's any kind of gear that you guys are looking forward to me checking out or you're into, definitely feel free to drop me a line here or drop a comment and ask me to go check it out. I'm always into learning about new gear. I know that there's a certain amount of gear that I need to kind of conquer beforehand. So there's still holes in my gear level. I know I've been kind of saying in my videos that one of the things, hoodies. Hoodies are amazing. You can't have enough. I'm actually thinking of making some like Rogue 2 branded hoodies. So although Southgate, I think getting one of those bad boys to you down under might cost a fortune in shipping, but I can definitely do that. Hoodies, I keep seeing little adverts for the bearskin hoodies. I don't know if they're cracked up to be. To put both logos on, which ones are you talking about? The Durable Dads or the Rogue 2 or both of those? I don't know how much that would cost. I haven't done that yet. Just because I made this one kind of run and a half of merch just to check it out and see how it went. How the cost of just the shirts, unless I'm doing bulk and I did source it locally, it was not Rogue True on the front and Durable Dads on the back and a hoodie. How much would that cost? My guess, probably about $70 Canadian, my guess. And then I have no idea how much that would cost to ship. But I think that would be the cost of a hoodie. If I was going to do that and go that route, I'd want to do definitely a custom piece, and it would be a good quality hoodie. So, and then just get that work unless I had enough orders and could do a bigger order through a different company, or through a company that specializes in swag, right? There are out there. But the thing is, I'd have to cost that out and see how much it costs in bulk, so to keep the cost down. A lot of times you're paying, to get your logo set up with them, which is a one-time cost. So there'd be two logos. That would probably cost, a chunk of change just to even get it set up, and then you'd want to make enough of a run to make it worthwhile. I mean, yes, you'd take two, but really I'd probably need to be making 20 or 30 at least to start making merch cost effective. It's not a cheap game unless you want shirts that fall apart in, after 3 washes or something like that, which is not something that I'm into. I mean, if you're going to want to rock my gear, it would be gear that at least reflects some of the things that I think are important, which is obviously durability, durable tads, but durability and value, right? I mean, not only does it have to look wicked, but it has to actually do what you need it to do and not fall apart. So yeah, two isn't going to cut it. So, but you know what? I'm really willing to revisit the idea of merch as that becomes, a little bit more necessity, right? That's a chunk of change up front for me, so not necessarily cost effective at this point. Today's economy, nobody's really rocking and rolling in a bunch of extra money, and I'm no different. So that would have to be something planned. All right. I'm still winging it. And it's been, I don't know, it's been almost an hour of me winging it, minus the 20 minutes of me messing around and accidentally starting this earlier. So what time should I go to, you guys? Are you guys getting bored? Or what? Should I go to about 20 after, another 20 minutes? How's that work? I might be running out of stuff, and hopefully because of my little blip of struggling with software, that doesn't make me or at least take me down a peg or two in the whole professionality, right? So I do professional video editing and custom imagery and motion graphics, yet I'm struggling with streaming software. Okay. Anyways, I'm going to own my own mistakes, but you know what? We made this work. Wolf Cursed. So thanks for joining. Have you got the tree up yet? Yes. Fully decorated? No. Okay. So which is on me and my kiddo. So we're going to work on it together, but we got halfway through last night and decided to cut it a little early. So we're going to have to finish that. As soon as I'm done this live stream, I'll go and take a stab at finishing, getting the lights and other decorations too. I mean, if you're going to put up a tree, you got to at least pretend to get all Christmassy and add some more decorations around the house. I'm not the Griswold, so I don't go out and put a whole bunch of lights outside. That's not my thing. I'm surrounded by people that do it. Not quite Candy Cane Lane out there, but my neighbors definitely put me to shame. But I'm not alone. There's other neighbors that don't put up a ton of decorations either. So yes, it snowed, but it's melting off, which is pretty typical for this time of year. So the Christmas spirit isn't necessarily really, really flowing through me quite yet. I know that the holidays are kind of on the horizon, but I haven't thought that fully through yet. What is it, December 4th? Yeah, I guess 20 days, so 3 weeks. I guess the holidays are in 3 weeks. Oh my God. Where did the year go? Well, the year kind of flew by. For sure, the summer was quite the experiment. as you guys saw, not experiment. And I was dropping 2 pieces of long form a week. That was gnarly. I certainly learned a lot about editing and workflow and getting some stuff out there, but that was too much. And really, I wasn't able to spend the amount of time just getting the little tweaks there that I wanted to. Um, so unnecessary. So unfortunately, a little bit more saner pace is needed for me to be able to keep the quality up, for sure. And I'm busy learning new tricks. That's the nice thing about Rogue too, is as I learn, um, and as my skill set grows, I'm able to add little stuff into even Durable Dads. Durable Dads isn't necessarily going to be super overproduced or has to be fancy, but there'll be little stuff that I can sneak in there that you'll be able to see. So I need the time to be able to create that in 2 a week. Well, yeah, I mean that's fun if you're wrapping into adventures, but it doesn't leave you a lot of time to do lifing and work and adventure. And when you're concentrating on being in front of the camera all the time, nor did it necessarily get me a ton of new views or subscribers. The channel didn't necessarily grow. Not that that's everything about what I'm trying to do, but what I'm saying is that the amount of work to create 2 pieces of content a week doesn't necessarily match where I'm at right now with this channel or even in my life. So did I get anything on Black Friday? No. I don't go out for big sales necessarily unless there's something I need. I'm kind of the attitude that I do things. I buy things as I need. I find sales are great if you can afford it and you're looking for that particular item right now. And it makes you wonder how much profit is on something that they can put it steeply on sale and still make money, right? So it makes me wonder. Anyways, that's just my cynicism. I try to keep it lean and keep it to the stuff I need, and that's about it. So Christmas tree up, yes. Durable Dads is going into Christmas mode. The new Woobin X4 that's going to be getting a review drop probably on the 18th. That is going to be kind of my Christmas must buy this kind of special. And that's not just because I'm sponsored, it's because tactical flashlights kick ass and you can't not have one. So I mean this excites me. It's going to be a beaut. And so that would be my Christmas content. Oh, I've been live for an hour. Again, keeping going. I've got a little bit of steam going. Also, I need to make dinner, but you know what? And for successes, I got the software working with a background. So I'm winning all over the place. So yeah, where is that? I wanted to cover Lou. That's going to be recurring. There's some modifications to Lou that I want to make that I didn't have the time or the energy or the money to get to this year. I got to do some work on the front end, replace the windshield. Some running boards for sure. Some rock sliders definitely need to happen. Another piece to Lou, and I'll keep you posted and I'll film this, is I'm going to get some, I don't like the J clips. And you've probably heard me complain about this many times in more than one video, the J clips on top. First of all, Lou's pretty tall girl, and loading kayaks in on an angle like this, not exciting. Like, so you have to have 2 people kind of guide them in, and it could just slip out this way at any time. So what I've had my eye on are these Malone like V clips that I think would you'd probably be able to just get the kayak up and then go to the back of it and then slide it right into its cradle, and it would probably like work so much better. That's definitely an upgrade, and I'll film that one with an incredible amount of glee because the J clips have been a thorn in my side for all season. Okay, all season. So and then there'll be the Lou upgrades. I'll keep you posted. That's its own content stream that I'm excited about. Durable destination will get there, like definitely camping. Now that I've got a much more complete kit, I'm definitely going to be doing more camping. And maybe see some special guests on the camping. Maybe I'll be able to get a bunch of buddies together. Maybe some of my more extended family. And then that's going to be chaos. So that might be coming down the pike. But for winter, I always tell ghost stories. Like ones where I back in my day, I used to have money. I wonder where that went. Ooh, ghosted. So there's going to be that coming, but over the winter, it's going to be more practical gear for winter and winter oriented. Maybe some local spots, maybe a toboggan party, or you know what, the gear that makes a toboggan party kind of happen. If you're a winter dad or even a winter mama or whatever, and you've gone to a toboggan party with a bunch of kids, and had a fire and had a weenie and marshmallow roast, you know what that looks like. It's a big deal, and there's a lot of different people involved and some thinking. So you know what I mean? If I can arrange something like that, that would be pretty cool. But really, at least having the gear to be able to pull something like that off is definitely within Durable Dad's scope and on the horizon. So anyways, it's December 4th, and ski club review. I don't ski necessarily. So are you talking about Stake Lake? Okay, so all right, let's divert for a second. Things Durable Dads doesn't do, or at least the content creator behind Durable Dads doesn't do. Ski. I used to snowboard back in the day, but if you've been up to the hill, even the budget hill, never mind a resort hill, you know, unless you're doing that and it's one of your big passions, you know that's a big chunk of change every time you go. And you've got kids, unless you've got the gear, it's a rental. There's a lot to that, and I don't ski. As for cross-country skiing, I don't look that great in spandex, so I like to keep that to a minimum. One thing you might see me doing, and there's a high probability of this, is possibly Stake Lake, but snowshoeing. Now, Stake Lake isn't going to let you snowshoe, I don't think, because they have groomed trails. However, because I don't ski or cross-country ski, I necessarily am not going to do Stake Lake. Great trails, great biking, great hiking, but the skiing part, I'm going to let somebody else do the review on that bad boy. But snowshoes, yeah, I wanted to make that a surprise, but that's probably going to be another part of my winter content. Maybe some ice fishing. So that's what's really coming down the pike for you in the near and kind of long term until spring. So yeah, if you watch this, you have had the giant spoiler alert on what's probably going to happen over the winter and going into spring. So don't say I didn't warn you. And if you don't want to, if you wanted to be surprised on what my next content is, don't watch that. Don't watch this at all. But anyways, yeah, so what's coming up for December? The X4 review, that's happening. Unless there's the plane crashes or there's a massive custom strike. That's going to be showing up within my window next. Hey, Krabby, how's it going, man? Thanks for showing up. Yeah, and you are the guy I want to talk to about knife reviews. Anyways, you guys, Krabby's Country Life. Check out his channel. Definitely do that. He's kind of the knife guy. So, welcome. So, anyways, and I was kind of talking about a guy just doesn't, a bushcraft guy just can't have enough knives. I was saying that earlier. That's one of those things that you can't have enough of. So yeah, that's what's going to be coming up. So the X4, another flashlight review, and then a fire pit video. Because there's snow on the ground, we're not quite sure what fire pit we're going to do, but Jeremy and I are going to put our heads together here in the next couple days and come up with something. Oh, your buddy Jay. Okay, well, you know what, Krabby, drop that link into the chat, and all us knife aficionados out there will go drool over the cutlery if you want to drop that in there. So, yeah, this is what's going down. So I'm going to go into the Q&A / recapping of my Mind stream that has been rolling for now 1 hour, 8 minutes, and 15 seconds. From my oops, I started streaming early because I finally got the software to work, to not wearing where the hell my notes for tonight went, and being encouraged by some of the bad seeds in the audience to just wing it. So don't tell a guy who likes to talk to wing it. So anyways, that's what you get. A bonfire pit. Okay, so unless you are having 5 or 6 people and a few racks of the beer, bonfires are crazy. You have to have a lot of material for that to burn. Oh, by the way, I'm just going to pause for a sec. Krabby, don't have a link, but if you watch Old School with a Modern Twist, that guy has knives. Okay, Old School with a Modern Twist. I think that's his name. That guy has some knives. Some knives, apparently. Okay, so why am I not doing a bonfire pit? Well, because they're not super practical. So if you guys are out at a toboggan party and you got multiple kids, and you need to keep snowy, wet, unhappy, cranky kids and adults warm and dry off some stuff, yeah, bonfire's definitely what you're going to want. But you know what? That's going to be a cord of wood to keep a good toboggan party rolling. It's maybe not a cord, but it's going to be a chunk of material to get. So those are only used when it's necessary, and you can't cook on a fire that big very well. Practically, are you going to do any more views of dawn? Possibly. I got a strike against me for actually filming in dawns, and you know what? It's because he plays music in his store, which is awesome. We all love the music he plays. But because that was on the recording, I got a little bit of a strike. I'm not in YouTube jail or anything like that, but that was noted. So note to self, try to edit out or do something. Be conscientious of the music, or don't have it on for very long. Do less than 30 seconds at a time. So, the bots are merciless. They don't come after you. A portable fire pit is good, but you know what? That's Krabby, but that's a lot for a dad to pack around. And if you've got the kids and you've got the truck or I can't just change it to YouTube approved music. Okay. If it's actually baked in, the mic doesn't know. Anyways, yeah, that's not an option. So, but if you're packing your kids, you got tents and you're doing camping and stuff like that, unless you're going for one specific to um, to do like an outdoor barbecue, yeah, that makes sense. If you want to throw the kids and the gear and everything like that to a portable fire pit, but part of the idea is kind of like some bushcraft. So we're assuming, oh yeah, propane portable too. Propane works. Propane sucks when it's cold. We'll have to tell you that one though. Um, and that's the reason why I want to kind of keep to fire or have like even a jet boil, any of the butane, like the white gas stuff and propane, tends to work less good the colder it gets. So camp oil and good old fashioned wood burning fire, that one works the best, and it's really accessible. So if you're out in the bush and you're camping, chances are you're going to have some access to some wood. Um, if you want to go propane and you want your setup, that setup to be part of your kit, that's awesome. It's one direction, but um, I like making my own fires. I like gathering wood. I like having, the skills and the tools to be able to go and gather the wood and make that. There's something primal about having wood. I'm not bashing any of the propane setups. Those work in a pinch, despite the cold. But you know what? Um, I don't want to burn the forest down. And fire safety is kind of another feature of that too. So when I'm kind of constructing a fire pit, or that's part of the content, um, we're we're packing with the idea of building something that's contained, that isn't a huge bonfire unless that becomes necessary, and you're going to be sacrificing a version or two, or dancing naked around it, or you have a whole bunch of people that need to warm up. Then that's a deal. But you know what, we're trying to keep it uh, kind of contained, easy to make with the kids, the simplest thing to start cooking, or at least keep you warm. um, so and do the job with the least amount, or conserving the most amount of material, um, or i.e. wood, to kind of keep your adventure rolling as long as you can. Princess Auto wood stove. Oh yeah, right on, folds up. You know what? I love Princess Auto. Okay, that place is great. Would kill for them to sponsor, but you know what? A wood stove that folds up, I've seen those before. Those work pretty good. You can get little cook stoves that do that as well. Um, the BioLite's a neat little unit too for making coffee or grilling. I'm gonna have to get back to that. So Bill Southgate, yes, the grill, and grilling up something. We don't have kangaroos out here, and not a lot of kangaroo meat, but definitely do up a burger or a fish fry is definitely something that's going to happen in the spring. So, um, yeah, that's what's happening. But you know what? Propane's great, and propane accessories are also great. But also at the same time, a part of that is like having the bushcraft, the kind of the primal area, that a little bit of fire safety, and how to make up a fire, and having the tools to be able to make fire again. There's another set of tools you can't have enough of, the ability to create fire. Um, and that's part of kind of the ethos of where I want to take it. That and the craft of making a fire pit that you can cook with. Something neat for the kids too. So, um, lots of beers and deer there. Bears, yes, we have bears. That's why I have multiple bottles of bear spray. And deer, yes, there are deer. Um, my backyard, they're proliferate. They come and eat my vegetables all the time because I don't have a deer fence up yet. You can't hunt those. They're park deer. They're and they're pests. Yes, the deer around. There's lots of them. Um, Definitely, that's a hunting license kind of thing. I have to go hunt one of those, but cooking one of those up would be pretty great. Again, getting there. Um, Long ago, did I sell my guns? So when I haven't hunted in many moons. I don't want to talk about how many moons that is, but it's been many moons. So, and a grizz, if I'm going to get back into hunting, grizzes are not number one on my list of go tos. I don't want to start going there, or at least start back up doing that. So, anyways, realistically, what I think you're going to be seeing content wise is more gear reviews, stuff that fit the dad kind of like base kit kind of stuff, plus expanding and kind of working on that as I go along and have more adventures. And you're like, crap, I need one of these, or I need something like that, or I wish this could have been just worked a little bit better. I need a better model of this. So it's a work in progress, but really, where am I going to stay hunting? And there's going to be some fishing going in the spring for sure, maybe some over the winter. That's reasonable. Keeping the gear, the adventure stuff, and keeping it kid friendly. Hunting, that's a little bit farther down the road. Especially with my kiddo. My kiddo's interested in hunting, but we'll get there. So one step at a time. Love that you guys are throwing all these ideas at me, and they're definitely angles that I'm going to work in as I go. But again, the format's working for what we've got right now, and I'm just going to keep that rolling. And I've been kind of letting you know how this has been playing out. So yeah, I'm going to stay in my lane for a little while as I expand and kind of grow. But these are all lanes I'd love to go down later on. Thanks for throwing this at me, you guys. So anyways, I'm going to try and recap and kind of thread this all back together. So yeah, the format that we're following now, that kind of happened really early spring. And then I hit the gas pedal in summer, experimented with the outdoor angle for sure, or the adventure angle. I do love to paddle. Snowshoeing for the winter. I love to paddle, to fish and to hike, and to camp. So we're going to see more of that for now. And I'll expand as I go. So, and a lot more gear reviews. So, that's where you guys need to, throw me the gear that you love, or is there a piece of gear that you'd like to see, reviewed that you think would be a good dad item? It's either essential in your kit, and every dad should have, or it's something you've been drooling over and want to see how it works. But bear in mind, that there's parameters there. There's what are dads most conscious of? I mean, budget is one of them, unless you're like super wealthy. But at the same time, I mean, you want something that's bang for your buck, that's gonna work, that's and is gonna be durable. So ferro rods for sure. I'm getting a nice little collection of those. Also have a flint and steel that's coming. Actually, that'll be one. I haven't done a review of flint and steel kit yet, so I'm going to definitely do that. I will talk to Jeremy from Fireworks, and he has a nice kit, so I'll grab one of those. and do a flint and steel versus ferro rods fire starting one. That's an awesome idea, Krabby. Let's do that. So as for ferro rods, I have one on my keychain. I have a nice kit, some nice chunks of fat wood. I'm actually planning on putting together a specific kit for the Dadventure kit that has just nothing but different ways of starting fires, straight from barbecue lighters through to matches to flint and steel to a couple different ferro rods. So and kits. There's some lint too. You can also use if you've got or if you've got like cabling or some rope, which every kit should have. Depending, some of the nylon ropes in the middle have a core that really works. You can pull it out as kind of a plasticky core. That works as a great fire starter. So I'll go over some fire starting stuff that you should also have in your kit. That's really handy. Birch bark obviously is one of the best. And just having some fluff and some fire starter, having that with you in your Dadventure kit, and multiple sources of fire is definitely something to have. Have one in your kit. There's another piece I'm going to probably just kind of get to. Don't let me forget. That was actually on my notes, the lost notes. The dog ate them. The electronic dog ate them. And having one in your kit, having one, a fire starting kit, and some emergency stuff in your day pack, just in case, you're out hiking and some stuff happens, some stuff. And, you have to, bivouac for the night, and all you've got is your camping, your whatever gear you've got in your day pack. Multi-day trips are still a little ways off for me, like hiking or paddling. Also awesome. But having different instances of like your basic kit is definitely important. Just having your bushcraft stuff, your emergency stuff just stashed in the house, in the vehicle, in your Dadventure kit, in your day pack, all of those things. So if you run into a situation, especially if you're alone or you got your kids with you, you've got this covered. Anyways, one of the parallels I was going to make is I talk about the Dadventure kit simply because the Dadventure kit sounds cool and the channel is Durable Dads. But the Dadventure kit really is kind of like a bug out bag in its own way, or a get back bag. Not necessarily that I'm running like full on prepper, because that's not my thing, and not necessarily any kind of like really busy engaged dad is going to want to keep that in mind, but doesn't necessarily have the time to fully commit to something like that. But really, think of your Dadventure kit, and I encourage all of you, if you don't have one, to build one, or have some kind of version of it ready to rock and roll that you can pick up, and throw in the vehicle, or it lives there, and then you're just off and rolling. I mean, and that was part of the point of the Dadventure kit, was to have something that I could just pick up and go, and adventures, to be adventure ready, to be able to say, oh, you know what, let's go for an adventure. Bam. All the stuff is there and figured out, or you want to camp, or, and really being that ready to be able to do that. If that adventure ready to at the drop of a hat, or you get an unexpected day off, or whatever happens, you're able to just pick up and go and grab and have all the stuff handy to do that. Well, what's the parallel to be able to do that and take your kids along and be prepared for whatever you might face? Well, the analog to that is definitely, a bug out bag. It's being able to, if stuff goes down, you're prepared for that too. So really, I mean, that does parallel with being a responsible dad. also at the same time, it also gives you the ability to be able to deal with whatever, craziness that life might throw at you. Anyways, it's lovely to be able to just get the hell out of town or out in nature if your sanity requires it, at any time, or to be able to take your kids and be able to bond and help create a sense of connection with nature and respect and stewardship and some basic skills for that you can pass on to your kids and some fun activities to help teach them. I mean, that's what this channel is about. I mean, with a real undertone of my journey back into, really embracing the outdoors in my life and circumstances kind of changing to open up to be able to do this again. So really, I mean, that's the whole idea behind it and the ethos behind Durable Dads in the first place. Okay, hitchhiking near Gorman's brother. Okay. Anyways, this has gone a little out of hand. You guys are chatting amongst yourselves. That's awesome. You know what? Thanks for tuning in. I've been at this, mistakes and all. What does it say? 1 hour, 27 minutes, 58 seconds. So I've been at this an hour and a half. Half an hour, the first half an hour doesn't count because I accidentally triggered progress when I didn't mean to, and then had to run off and make my tea with honey. Anyways, I think I've kind of caught you up on everything, where I'm going. There's no surprises content-wise. Now, unfortunately, I've shown my hand, and I'll have to come up with something just to throw you guys a curveball. But anyways, that's where Durable Dads has come from, and is going forward too. It's been a real blast to be able to do this and to learn how to do this and improve my skill set and do up road too. And it's been a real, I'm not trying to blow smoke or brown nose or anything like that, but it's been pretty awesome to have you guys along. I really appreciate you sticking with me through the changes as I go along and contributing to, content ideas and really being supportive of what we're doing here. Anyways, I think it's time that this guy, thanks, Krabby. I appreciate it. So's yours, man. And Twisted, yours too. So in the Wild with Kyle, I really appreciate the hard work you guys are doing. I know what it's like to give birth to one of these bad boys. This is one of your kids, kind of, right? So, well, not kind of, almost, yeah. Anyways, the parallels are striking. Anyways, I'm loving doing what I'm doing. You guys know what I'm doing. Sorry I haven't done a live stream in forever. Stuff got busy. But you know what? Things are cooking. I'm growing. Some cool stuff is happening. I wanted to let you know what was what. And we will definitely be catching up in the new year. Anyways, I got a couple more before the year turns, or I got at least one more piece of content and another piece of content as soon as the year ticks over and we turn into 26. Yeah, there's some good stuff coming. And if I don't see all of you before the holidays, have a really awesome holidays with your family and the people that you love. Hug your kids, appreciate it, and have a very merry holiday season. Christmas, New Year's, whatever form of spirituality you happen to follow, and whatever holiday falls in there. Enjoy the heck out of it. New Year's Eve live stream. If you think I'm incoherent now, wait until then. So probably not. Anyways, you guys, New Year's Day, there will be some content dropping. Probably a fire pit video. So And again, on the 18th, I'm going to be doing the X4 tactical flashlight review. I expect that to be nothing short of awesome. And it'll give me an excuse to go out among nature and not my backyard, in the snow, in the dark, and the scaries. But I have bear spray and some flashlights to keep me safe. Anyways, you guys, happy holidays. Thanks for tuning in. It was a marathon. It didn't start necessarily as I thought it would, but you know what? Hey, everything worked out. The software's there. The stream came through. So absolutely give it a watch. So, and enjoy your trip to go see your family, Twisted. You guys, I got to get out of here. It's time for me to have something, finish off this tea, make some dinner for the crew. And you know what? Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. It's been a gas. I will see you next live stream. Thanks for tuning in, you guys. Cheers. Peace. Traditional salutations or adios. Peace out, Scout.